Good morning. My name is Roger Gelb. I'm an attorney in Maryland, and I've been handling personal injury cases, including auto accidents, for over 30 years. A typical question that I get is, what is the value of my accident injury claim? Um, that's a really broad question, and obviously it's going to vary from case to case. There are a lot of factors we look at. Um, Most importantly, factors to consider are, where did the accident happen, meaning what city or what county in Maryland. The value of the claim may depend on where the case is ultimately litigated, and that's true whether or not the case goes to litigation. For settlement purposes, that's what's taken into consideration. In addition to that, we look at the amount of property damage to the vehicles involved in the accident. The more property damage, generally speaking, the more the claim may be worth. And then finally, of course, we look at the injuries and the treatment. Ultimately, that's really what's most important. If somebody has a lot of property damage and they're in a favorable venue to try the case, but they never treat, then it's not worth anything, or it's worth very little. But if they get to a doctor relatively soon after the accident, and maybe they even go to an emergency room before they start treating with a physician or a chiropractor or a therapist, then that will help increase the value of the claim. Again, all of this is ultimately going to depend on what is the injury. If it's my neck and back are hurt, but I don't know what's wrong, and it turns out that the diagnosis is soft tissue injuries in nature, cervical, lumbar spine strains, and they ultimately make a good recovery, then the claim will be worth one thing. If they have some sort of permanency or need surgery, then of course the value is going to change dramatically. There are so many factors involved that there's no formula. An actual number can't necessarily be assigned, because you have to remember that the value of the claim may depend on what would a judge or jury put on that case. And although based on experience we have some idea what that may be, it's going to vary, obviously, from judge and jury to judge and jury. So we can assess it in rather general terms, but not necessarily give a specific value before the case is ultimately tried.